Hello and welcome to First Look. I'm Young John, and today we're going to look at Roccat's new flagship gaming keyboard, the Vulcan 2 Max. We're going to start off with an unboxing of this guy right here. This is the front of the official box of the Vulcan 2 Max. You have the logo in the upper left-hand corner and a picture of the keyboard you're going to get. This is in black. There's also a version in white. Here's what the back of the package looks like and an image of the inside of the Titan 2 optical switch. Let's get our knife and open the two safety stickers that are here and here. Here's the wrist rest. This is cool. Here's your keyboard. And here's your quick start guide on the bottom. And that's everything you get in the box: your wrist rest, your paperwork, and your keyboard. What immediately caught my attention was how thick this cable is. It's about 2 meters long, which is almost 6 feet long, and you'll need to plug in 2 USB-A cables to make this work. This is a full-sized keyboard from end to end. The cable is attached to the top end here. And on the back side, we have a thick rubber strip here and another thick rubber strip on the bottom for a really tight grip. We also have 2 different sized feet. So if I look at it up on an angle here, we can have 3 different angles. We have flat, we have a smaller foot there, and a larger foot there for 3 different angles. The build quality underneath is plastic, making it very, very light. But on the top, there is an aluminum backplate. So it's very, very classy. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect this to my laptop. And if you keep your eye on the keyboard here, and there it is. It's a beautiful keyboard to look at. Now let's get all the gaming specs out of the way. This thing has N-key rollover. Typical keyboards have 125 Hz polling rate. This one has 1000 like most gaming keyboards. And it's got 100% anti-ghosting. And that's what you would expect from top-of-the-line gaming keyboards. Aside from all the gaming specs, the biggest news with this gaming keyboard is the new Titan 2 optical switches. Now compared to the Titan 1s, these switches are lubed. They're dual LEDs, and they use cross stems, making it compatible with most third-party keycaps. So you can remove the keycaps that came with this keyboard and replace it with a new set of third-party ones that you purchase somewhere else. Basically, any keycap that works with cherry keys, the cross type, will work with these as well. So similar to the Titan 1 opticals, these guys have a 1.4 millimeter actuation point, and they have a 100 million keystroke life cycle. But as usual, my favorite thing about the keyboard is the media keys on the upper right-hand corner. The volume knob now acts as a mute button when you press it. So before you didn't have that, so you can mute everything by pressing on the volume. I really like the typeset they used on the keycaps. They're really, really pretty and beautiful. It's very, very readable, and it's really nice. Now, if the biggest news under the hood is the Titan 2 optical switches, the second big piece of news is the palm rest that lights up. This is comfortable, and yet it's colorful as well. If you look underneath the keyboard here, you see lights shining through, and that's where you plug in this palm rest. So you can stick this in, and the whole palm rest just sort of lights up. This is an amazing show of light. So not only does it feel good, but it looks good too. Now all of this and the lighting controls are controlled inside the Swarm software for the PC, but you don't actually need it to do the basics. So for example, there are 4 built-in profiles. You hold down function and F1 to 4. So this is F2. You can tell what profile you're in with this LED light. So that's what the dual lights are used for in this case. So function and 3, we know we're in profile 3, there's that light. We know we're in profile 2, there's that other light. And same with function number 1. There are a whole bunch of other keys here, but the more useful ones with Swarm are these keys here, memory 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which you can customize. To control the intensity of the light, you use function and control to turn it all off. But I have noticed that the LED light is still on for the profile. So if we go to function 2, It's in function 2, but that light is still on. I think that's kind of defeating the purpose of turning off the lights because some of the LEDs are still on there. Otherwise, you can control the intensity with function up and down. There's 10 levels. Unfortunately, you cannot see the levels until you let go. So this is off, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's middle, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that's the brightest. But my favorite controls are media, so you can play and control the volumes up and down. This is really awesome. And if you want to mute it, you can press this knob now. I love that. This is so much more intuitive than having a mute button somewhere. Just press the knob for mute. And you want to go to the next one? It'll go to the next one. And you want to go to the previous one? You can go to the previous one. I love this media key control on top. This is a typing test of the Roccat Vulcan 2 Max. Please put on your headphones and have a listen. For typing, I really like the feel of these keys. It feels dampened, so it doesn't really clack too hard. It feels like there's some kind of cushioning, which is a nice feeling. But I have to say that these keys, these switches are way too fast. 1.4 millimeter actuation points are too short. So if you're a typer, your mind is already thinking on the next word or the next sentence and your fingers follow. But here, you have to slow down the way you think. So if I'm typing hello, I can't think hello. I have to think H-E-L-L-O as I'm typing, or your best friend is going to be the backspace key. But let's test for what this keyboard was made for, and that's gaming. Whoa! So this keyboard is NK rollovers, so I'm going to attempt to use like 4 or 5 buttons at the same time. Press 2 directional buttons, speed up maybe, jump, and shoot a fireball. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, nice. Time for the big boss. Too bad I don't have an extra key. The keys are nice and firm, but they give you wiggle space. It's a good feeling. Very nice. I think that's enough gaming for now, but you get the point of this wonderful keyboard. It has a nice feel to it. And super responsive. I like the feeling of this keyboard under my fingers. It was very, very reactive, very fast. Before I knew what I was thinking, it moved the way I wanted it to move. N key rollover works great. I could press 4 or 5 keys at the same time and they all reacted beautifully. And again, the dampening there, the cushioning almost, it feels really nice and you can almost feel the lube working. It's very smooth to press. So while this might not be the best for typing, this is A1 for gaming. Let's open up Swarm and show you a bit about the customization. So the first thing you want to do is download Swarm software and install it on your PC. And then you want to update the drivers. So if you're not sure where to find the software or how to update it, we have tutorials to show you that. We'll leave the links in the notes. We have tutorials to show you how to use the macro manager and how to use Easy Shift. So we have tutorials for that as well. But for now, once you install it, you can go to settings and in general, search now for updates. And then once it downloads, you go to Update Center and you can click on whatever it is that you want to update. I've already done that, so we won't do it now. So this here is the Vulcan 2 Max. These are the general features, but the most important thing are the key illumination. So right now, we're in profile number 1, which is set at AMO Intelligent Lighting. I'm gonna use the keyboard to access profile number 3. The key illumination has the biggest change. In addition to lighting the keys, you have 16 zones now for palm rest colors. So you can select that, select the color theme, select the effect. For me, it's fully lit. I just want to leave it as it is. And once you click apply, it'll apply and save it. You can of course change each individual color of the keys, the WASD for game movement, the F keys, or whatever you want, or individual keys like this. And then you can change the color. And once you apply it, it'll change the color into that. There's a lot you can do under key assignment, and basically it's drag and drop functions. We have a tutorial on creating macros and Easy Shift if you want to check that out. It's in the links. Another exciting thing about this keyboard is the extension of Easy Shift. Function and gaming mode prevents windows from popping up, but also Easy Shift extends to almost all the keys here. Originally, Easy Shift only works on the left-hand side of the keys, but for this keyboard, it works almost all the keys. So you have a whole lot more options for mapping keys. This is amazing. Let's get out of gaming mode, and now the Windows key works again, and Easy Shift is now not working anymore. If you want to know exactly what each function key does, you can go to List View and check out what each key is. The left key is the previous effects, and the right key is the next effects. So if we go to key illumination, we're talking about this here. So if we hold the function and go left, it'll go to the previous function. Previous function, and you can see the function changing as you go function right or function left. And we're back in the custom mode. And those are pretty much the biggest changes inside Roccat Swarm for the Vulcan 2 Max keyboard. The 16 lighting zones for the palm rest, and the second one are the key assignments for the whole keyboard, which is amazing. One thing that's really difficult to tell is if the caps lock or the number lock is on or not. Let's zoom in here. You see the caps lock key. If I press it, it turns white, but it's hard to see that. But if you change it to something weird, like blue, now you can kind of sort of see the caps lock change color. Same with the number lock, scroll lock, and all of that stuff. So that's the only thing that could use some improvement, if they change the color to something that's more noticeable. So what do I think of this keyboard? I mean, I really like what they did under the hood. This new Titan optical switch is amazing. It's lubed, it feels dampened to me, so it's not like, it's not gritty feeling, it's very smooth, and it has a nice feedback to it. Again, maybe not the best for typers, but for gamers, this is, wow, it feels great. I'm not too big on customization per se, but I mean, look at these lights. This is really innovative. I mean, it's comfortable and it looks good too. So if you like customizing lights and all that kind of thing, A1. As usual, my favorite thing is the volume knob, but this time Roccat went a step further and built the mute into the volume knob, so you can press it and it goes mute, which is very intuitive to use. The only thing that does bum me out is that you can't access the profiles without Swarm being open, but that goes for all Roccat products. I just wonder why there's memory built in and everything is saved, only to not be able to access it without a program open inside your PC. That's extra resources, running in the background of a computer while you, do your stuff. But I just sort of wish that once you make settings in Swarm, that it's saved in the keyboard, that next time you boot up, it remembers it inside the keys themselves rather than having to start up Swarm too. The only other niggle I have is the print screen key. It doesn't say print screen, it says print. And people who are new to computing see the word print and might assume that print is just for printing to a printer or something like that. But it's actually print screen. It saves a screen capture of the screen, which is why it's print screen, not just print. So that bothers me a little bit. Otherwise, even though I'm not the biggest fan of lights, I'm really liking this. Thank you so much for watching this video on the Roccat Vulcan 2 Max. This is their new flagship, and it's going to now sit on my desk more or less permanently. If you want to check out prices, we'll leave Amazon affiliate links down below in the notes. And if you haven't yet, please take a moment now to subscribe to the First Look with 2 Zeros YouTube channel. We shall see you all again next time.